Southern California is shaking right now, and this is not a drill. In the last moments, the ground has started hitting in rapid bursts, one quake after another, like something beneath the city is pounding on the surface from below. People are running into streets, car alarms are screaming, and entire neighborhoods are reporting the same thing. The shaking won't stop. Officials are issuing urgent alerts as the quake swarm spreads across the region, and the aftershocks are getting stronger, not weaker. Scientists are terrified because this doesn't look like a single earthquake. It looks like the start of something bigger, and it's happening beneath Southern California right now. It starts like a heavy truck hitting the side of a building. A deep rolling vibration rises through the pavement, through the walls, through the bones of everyone sitting in traffic, working at desks, standing in grocery store aisles. For a split second, people freeze because Southern California has felt earthquakes before. But this one feels wrong. The ground doesn't just shake, it surges. Windows rattle so hard it sounds like glass is about to explode. Ceiling lights swing wildly. In apartment complexes, picture frames slam against drywall. Then it stops, and the silence lasts only long enough for people to exhale, because another hit follows almost immediately. A second jolt, sharper, faster, more violent. Cars rock like they've been struck. A parking structure groans. Dogs begin barking across entire blocks like they all received the same invisible warning. Phones light up all at once. Text messages, emergency alerts, social media feeds exploding with shaky videos and panicked captions. Then the third quake lands. Not an echo, not a fading aftershock. Another full-body blow from below, strong enough to knock items off shelves again, strong enough to send people rushing out of buildings without shoes. In Long Beach, people sprint into the street as power lines sway overhead. In Riverside, a family drops to the floor beside their couch, and now it becomes clear. This is not one earthquake. This is a swarm. A rapid-fire chain reaction, like something underground, is snapping again and again, refusing to settle down. The shaking becomes unpredictable. Traffic begins to snarl instantly. Drivers slam brakes, unsure if overpasses are safe. People abandon cars on the shoulder. Inside hospitals, nurses grip door frames as medical equipment rattles. In schools, teachers lock down classrooms while children cry. And outside, across Southern California, sirens begin rising. Not one, not a few, but everywhere. Because the ground has started moving, and it's not stopping. The moment the quake swarm begins, the response is instant. Emergency lines flood, alerts hit phones, earthquake detected. But the shaking doesn't fade. It returns, again and again. Maps light up with red dots, spreading across Southern California. Officials confirm, this is a continuing seismic episode. We are urging residents to prepare, because swarms sometimes trigger something catastrophic. The fear grows. Is the ground releasing pressure or loading it? The swarm isn't just happening, it's advancing. The first hours of the swarm feel like relentless punches, but then something changes. The shaking stops being scattered bursts and starts becoming heavier, more aggressive, like the ground is winding up before each strike. People who were trying to calm down, trying to convince themselves it's passing, suddenly realize the opposite is happening. The aftershocks are not fading, they are evolving. A powerful jolt hits hard enough to trigger car alarms across entire neighborhoods at once. It's like a wave of noise erupts from the city. Horns blaring, alarms screaming, dogs howling, people shouting from balconies. In one instant, Southern California sounds like it's under attack. Inside homes, furniture shifts, TVs tip forward, cabinets slam open again, a refrigerator rolls slightly on its wheels, bumping against a wall. In high-rise buildings, residents feel the floors sway beneath them, and the fear becomes immediate and physical. Because when you're that high up, every second of shaking feels like the structure is losing a fight. On the streets, the cracks start to show. Small fractures appear in asphalt, splitting like veins across intersections. In some areas, sidewalks buckle upward. A section of retaining wall crumbles near a hillside road, sending chunks of concrete tumbling down into traffic lanes. And then the first major damage reports come in. A bridge inspection team is rushed out after a commuter reports seeing a visible shift in an overpass joint. In another area, a parking structure is evacuated after loud popping sounds echo through the beams. Fire crews arrive and immediately order everyone back because the building is still moving. But the worst moments aren't caught by officials, they're caught by civilians. Shaky phone footage floods the internet, a chandelier swinging wildly in a living room, a supermarket aisle collapsing as products rain down. Then comes the footage that changes the mood everywhere. A security camera shows a small apartment complex stairwell, quiet for a moment, then suddenly shaking so hard the railings rattle. A woman runs into frame, barefoot, dragging a child by the arm, and behind them, the building groans. A deep, terrifying sound. Not the sound of shaking, the sound of strain. Across the region, emergency crews are now responding to multiple calls of trapped residents. Elevators stuck, doors jammed, stairwells blocked by debris. And as night approaches, the danger grows worse, because now the ground is hitting harder in the dark, and every tremor becomes more terrifying when you can't see what's breaking. Another strong aftershock slams through, a long one, long enough for panic to turn into full terror. And when it finally stops, there's no relief, only dread, because the aftershocks are intensifying. By now, Southern California is no longer reacting like a city dealing with an earthquake. It's reacting like a region under siege. Entire neighborhoods are pouring into open areas. Parking lots, parks, empty fields. Families are clutching backpacks, waiting for the next tremor to decide what survives. And the next tremor does come. It hits mid-evacuation, a sudden sideways jolt that makes people scream and drop to the ground. A mother grabs her child and throws herself over them instinctively. A man falls hard, shouting in pain, but the shaking is so violent he can't even stand back up. On live television, reporters are now speaking through chaos. A news crew outside a shopping plaza is forced to back away as glass cracks overhead. Then another aftershock hits, and the crowd surges backward in panic, like a wave. In hospitals, the situation turns grim fast. Emergency rooms are filling with people injured by falling objects. Staff are trying to keep patients calm while the building itself shakes. Schools become a flashpoint of terror. Parents rush toward campuses. Some schools move students onto athletic fields where hundreds of children sit in rows under the open sky. And all of it is being recorded. Live streams show trembling hands. Viral clips show a freeway sign swaying violently. The panic is contagious. It spreads faster than the shaking itself. The first major failure is the power. Entire blocks blink out. Then communications fail. Cell networks jam. The silence is terrifying. But the swarm doesn't stop. It's lining up. A pattern is emerging, stretching like a scar across the region. On emergency maps, the newest tremor lights up brighter than the last. Prepare for a possible major earthquake. And now, Southern California faces the most terrifying question. Was this the disaster? Or was this only the warning shot before the real one hits?